Okay, exercise 2.8 gives us some information about Parker Company. They tell us they sell a single product, and then they ask us to figure out some information. First thing it says is, what is the variable cost per unit? Well, we have to base that on these two pieces of information. Everything in the green box was given. So we need to take the 150,000, divide it by the 60,000, and we find that the variable cost per unit is $2.50. So the variable cost per unit is $2.50, no matter how many we make. Okay, that's the variable cost per unit. Now it says, what would our total costs be given this scenario? Now remember, we're given the fixed cost, so our total cost, which your book likes to call Y, is equal to A, the fixed cost, plus the quantity times the variable cost, which they like to call B. Okay, I prefer the old-fashioned economist version of that, which is total cost equals fixed cost plus variable cost times quantity. They're the same. I just like calling total cost and fixed cost what they are. It just makes it easier to my fat old head. Okay, so now we're going to do some multiplication. Not the Catholic school kind of multiplication, the other kind of multiplication. So our fixed costs are 360, and we know that's not going to change. That's the concept of fixed costs. And then it says, what happens if we produce 80,000 of these? That's 80,000 times 250. That's 200,000. Do the addition, 560,000 would be our total cost if we produced that many. And then it says, what about if we do 100,000? So 100,000 times 250, 250,000. And we do the addition, our total cost is 610,000. Now it asks us cost per unit. Cost per unit. Now remember, in our discussion in the lecture, we talked about variable cost. It's constant at the unit level, varies in total, and fixed cost varies at the unit level but stays constant at the total. So the more we make, the more the fixed cost per unit goes down. So let's take a look here, and for this, what we're going to do is we're going to divide our production into our fixed cost to come up with our fixed cost per unit. We're going to do that the same on each of these, okay? Our production into our fixed cost gives us fixed cost per unit. I drew that line through the total cost. I meant through the fixed cost. And as we do that, we find that if we do 60,000, each one of those has $6 of fixed cost attached to it. If we go to 80,000, each has $4.50 of fixed cost attached to it. And if we get up to 100,000, each one has $3.60. Our total cost, therefore, per unit will go down as our production goes up. 850, 700, 610. That's called economies of scale. That you see the economies of scale. It also says we're using up excess capacity. For this amount of fixed cost, we can make a whole lot of things. The next thing it says is, okay, given the information above, what would be the contribution margin at 90,000 units? So our sales would be 90,000 times 750. That's $675,000. Our variable cost per unit would be 90,000 times 250. That would be $225,000. Our contribution margin is $450,000. Our fixed expenses are $360,000, giving us net operating income of $90,000 at that level. Keep in mind that these fixed costs are right there. That's what we're looking about. Okay.